It was June 22nd, and they go into the police station and they ask these officers to help her because she was literally becoming afraid for her life. They looked up Joshua and they didn't see any reports about him, and they told Molly that there wasn't really much that they could do. The police decided to call Joshua, and they put him on speakerphone to just ask for him to take the post down. But Joshua kept saying that he hadn't done anything wrong, and I quote, "If you think this is bad, wait until you see what's coming." This only made Molly more terrified, because now Joshua knew that she had reported him to the police. However, the police didn't even log this incident. So Molly and her mother left the station feeling even more helpless than they did before. And to make things worse, 2 days later, Joshua went to the police station and said that Molly was the one damaging his reputation. The police just repeated what they had told him before: take down the posts and stop trying to talk to her. But that really had no effect, because a few days later, Molly called the police again, this time to tell them that Joshua was still posting about her. They finally logged that incident and eventually called Molly back to tell her that Joshua agreed to take down the posts, but still said that there was legally nothing that they could do. Completely frustrated, Molly and her mom decided that they now needed to take things into their own hands. Since she was scared to be home alone, they printed out pictures of Joshua and started posting them and handing them out around the neighborhood. They were warning neighbors about Joshua, telling them what he did to Molly and asking them to be on the lookout for him in the neighborhood. They basically kind of formed their own neighborhood watch in all of this because they couldn't think of anything else to do. Put everybody on high alert of this creep in case he starts lurking around. He's dangerous, clearly. Molly was trying to get back to her normal life, and on June 28, 2017, she made plans for a night out with her friends. Molly had enrolled in her first personal training course, and another friend recently got a promotion, so they wanted to all go out and celebrate. Now, as you can imagine, everything had been so stressful, and she really just wanted to have some fun with her friends and take her mind off of everything. Earlier in the day, Molly posted on her Instagram story that she and her friends were going to a bar later that night called Ship and Trades, and she assumed posting this was okay and that it was safe because remember, she had blocked Joshua on all forms of social media. Therefore, he should have had no way of being able to find out where she was going or see the post, right? So that night, Molly and her friends were drinking, dancing, and having a good time, until lo and behold, Joshua walked in, and this time with another girl. Now, Molly didn't feel 1 ounce of jealousy, which really solidified to herself that she was definitely not in love with this guy anymore. But Molly and her friends still thought that him showing up there was a very odd coincidence, and she got that feeling that something was just off. She felt like he was there on purpose to try to make her jealous or try to get her attention. So after Josh walks in, he goes and sits at the bar, and Molly and her friends were sitting at a table a ways away. But the entire time, Josh was just watching them and trying to catch Molly's eye. When he ended up ultimately leaving with his date, he purposefully walked by Molly's table to exit the bar. And the bar had multiple exits, and one was way closer to where he was sitting, but he wanted to go out of his way to walk by her. Now, Molly was a little freaked out by this, rightfully so, and she wanted to just go home and relax. She wanted to watch Love Island, she wanted to just chill, get her mind off of things. But after Molly left, she had no idea that Joshua was actually following her the entire time.